Yo, what is up ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Dasky here with another Crusher Cars gameplay. Now I haven't played Crusher Cars in a while because I recently got my wisdom teeth taken out and hence I haven't been able to post any videos, but I recently saw Crusher Cars post a new status on their Facebook page. So if we look at it, it says the first look progress on the next update. No prizes for guessing the theme this time. And as we can see, it's a snow type theme, and if you look closely you can also tell that there's a Christmas tree. So I'm gonna guess it's some winter Christmas theme, which looks pretty cool. And we can also see that the power up boxes have like a type of wrapping around it. Now what I can say is this person has some skills, man. Look at these kills. First he gets the kill with the flamethrower, and then they teleport on the enemy to destroy them. But after seeing this and after receiving some messages from King Ham saying, yo, King Dask, I'm better than you at Crusher Cars, my high score is better than yours, I was like, damn, I'm not taking this. So what I did is I jumped on, and within my first game I was able to get a new high score. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just jump into Fortune Harbour. As we can see, there's a few good maps that we can go for a high score on. But I thought Fortune Harbour would be good because it's a smaller map, so it's going to be a lot easier and quicker to get some nice high scores with. So some of the maps I like to get high scores with are on Fortune Harbour, on the Mine map, and on the Moon map. Personally, these three maps are my favorite for getting high scores because they have elevated edges around the edges of the map, so you can always use them to your advantages and no cars can come and cut you off. Obviously, Fortune Harbour doesn't have that, but it's got a lot of buildings around you, so you can utilize these to easily dodge enemies. And although it is kind of narrow, and if an enemy does come on the same side of the building as you, it's going to be a bit close and you might take a bit of damage. So now looking at the gameplay, I've got the front spikes and I'm easily just driving around picking up crowns, and I've already got the most crowns in the game. So I shoot those spikes and I'll destroy that car. And my main goal in this game is to try and preserve my health. Within the game I don't get any health packs, so I really want to play smart, and there you go, I've destroyed one car and I use my railgun to try and turn away the enemy car from getting me, so that way I can pick up the crowns. So now I've got 23 crowns and I'm using the speed car, which is one of the fastest cars in the game, and I've got the boost. Now I try and hold off when I'm using this boost, that way if I see an enemy I can just boost straight through them without taking damage. So I'm kind of using this power up to my advantage. So now I just continue driving around and pick up the easy crowns scattered around Fortune Harbour. And if you didn't know, like I've said in my previous videos, Fortune Harbour is very good for picking up crowns because there's practically a figure 8 loop. They can just drive around, and by the time you get back to it, the crowns are going to be respawned, so you can easily get them. And as you can see, I'm picking up the same crowns that I just picked up. So a lot of this gameplay is me just playing very smart and tactical. I don't want to get into too much gunfight because I know I'll take a lot of damage by randomly getting hit. So I want to play very smart and think of every move before I actually make them. Also, when you're going for high scores, you want to pay attention to where your enemies are. Look at where those arrows are, that way you can avoid them and go down paths where you don't see any enemies. Like I just saw, I turned away from the enemies and I realized there was going to be a few enemies there. So I used my flamethrower to destroy the car, and I drove down here where there are no enemies besides the person on 9 crowns. I was able to avoid them because I knew my mines would be there, so I could use that as a shield so they couldn't drive through. And now I'm just chilling once again by myself on 48 crowns with barely any damage taken away from me. So now I've got my railgun and I want to get a lot of cars following me, that way I can activate it. So what I do is I brake, hoping some cars can catch up to me, and I activated the railgun to hope that they would drive in. And clearly they were too smart and didn't drive into it. So I activated my spread cannon there and I managed to hit one of the players on 9 crowns, and you can see that they're on a very low amount of health now. So I'm just going to drive away from the enemies. Like I said earlier, I don't want to get into any battles. And now that I've got the shield, I'm going to use my strategy with the shield, and I'm not going to activate it until I see an enemy. Luckily I activated it right in time because I got hit by the school bus and there's a few enemies now around me, and I managed not to take any damage from this. And normally what I would suggest with the shield is to cause as much chaos as you can when you've got the shield. Just keep smashing into all the enemies. That way you can try and destroy as many of them as possible since you're immune to taking any damage. But I didn't want to do this because I didn't want to get caught up and I didn't know how long my shield had left. So I just wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. Now remember those crowns I just picked up in the bottom corner? I saw them and I'm hoping no enemy went to pick them up. So that's why I completed a full loop around the map. And I'm going to go back there and pick up the crowns, as you can see. I saw an enemy was closing in, so I didn't want to go there straight away because it's a bit of a risky area and I could have got bumped into the water because, as you know, the speed car's a bit lighter. and when you're going up against trucks and school buses, you're just going to get hit off into the water. So now that I know no enemy was following me and I had a bit more time, I drove down back to where the crowns were and I picked them up and I activated my shield because I saw a few enemies coming in, and like I said, I just got crowded in and smashed around a couple times there. Luckily, one of the enemies used the flamethrower to destroy some of the cars so I could drive away and give some of the other cars damage, which was beneficial for me since I didn't have the shield active. Now here, unfortunately, I took a bit of damage, but I managed to reverse out of the way. I did get hit by one of the cannons there, but luckily with my quick thinking I was able to reverse out of the situation. Otherwise I probably would have been destroyed right then on the spot because someone did have the flamethrower and the front cannon. So as you can see, it's all about quick thinking and thinking on your toes, but in doing so you want to be smart enough not to make irrational decisions that will get your car destroyed. So now I'll just drive around here. I drop my landmines in time just to pick up another power up, and I've got the spikes. So once again I'm going to activate them, and I'm currently on 101. Now I just picked up my 102nd crown. So currently this was my previous high score of 102 crowns, and I've just beaten it. So let me know down in the comment section below what your high score is. That way I can try and beat it in the future. But at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what my new high score goal is. That way I can try and get a higher score in the future. I don't want to say it right now. That way I don't spoil what I get, but I'll tell you at the end of the video. So now I'm on 114 crowns, and I used the side cannons down that alleyway because I saw an arrow was approaching me and I didn't want to get destroyed. Luckily there, the forklift didn't have the front oil barrel on it, otherwise my car would have been completely destroyed, but I was lucky enough to pick up all the crowns I got left behind. So now that I got the spread cannon, I'm just going to shoot it off, try and hit some of the enemies that were approaching me, and I managed to destroy one of their cars. So now I'll go ahead and use the freeze cannon, freeze that bumper car, but I saw the oil truck was coming, so I didn't want to go from straight away, so I drove around the loop, but unfortunately the car unfroze by the time I got there, and there was a car with a flamethrower, so I just wanted to get out of there as soon as possible, that way I wouldn't take any damage. So now I can see two arrows are coming my way. I activate my shield, and luckily I did because the ice cream truck had the front cannon, and that would have been able to destroy me. And now look at all these enemies, and as you just saw there, the forklift just dropped its front barrel and I'm being pushed now into the water, and I did fall into the water. Luckily I had the shield active, that way I didn't take any damage. And if you didn't know that, when you have the shield active and you fall into a water zone, you're not going to take any damage. And I was very lucky there. I was a bit worried that my shield would expire just as I got hit into the water and I would take damage. But that's one of the things about Fortune Harbour. It's a very good map for getting high scores and a lot of crowns very quickly. But like you just saw, it's very easy to get pushed into the water zone, and that's going to take so much health off you. So just there I missed my 150th crown, but it doesn't matter because I picked up my 150th crown. I activate my flamethrower because I saw all the enemies coming, but it was too late. I got pushed into the water by one of the heavier cars in the game, and that's what I was just saying. You want to be very, very careful when you're playing on this map that doesn't happen to you, otherwise you will die. And I was very unfortunate because I thought I might have respawned to pick up a few more crowns, but I didn't do so. But check out how many crowns I've gotten. I got 150 crowns in the game, and let's see how many coins this converts to. So as you just saw, 142 coins plus 20 plus 15 coins for the daily rewards, so that's another 35 coins. So as you just saw, I got so many coins just from that one game, and I got a new high score of 150 crowns in a match. Now as I was saying earlier, I've got a new high score goal that I want to achieve, and that's going to be 200 crowns in one game. I really think I can do it. Now tell me down in the comment section below what your high score is and what map you go for when you try to achieve a high score. That way I can look at your ideas and try and achieve a high score on one of these maps in the game. Also, while you're typing a comment, be sure to ask me a question because I've got 7,200 coins that I need to splash away in the prize machine. So go ahead and ask me anything, that way I have some questions to answer in a prize machine opening. Also, if you like this video, please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for some more awesome Crasher Cars content. As we saw, there's a new update coming soon, so you don't want to miss anything that I post with that. So like I said, please be sure to subscribe if you're new. And for now, Dasky out.